Cardi B went on a live, right, talking about her merch, right? And she said something about plus size people, right? And the live found its way on the internet, right? And so this influencer also voiced their opinion about what she said in her life, okay, about plus size people. Let's get into a clip from the live, the one that has got people talking, right? Then we'll get into the influencer's take on the situation. Then we're going to get into what people had to say.
Now, whew, Jesus Christ. What I wanted to tell y'all is that we really underestimated the box sets. So the box sets are completely sold out, especially because you fat fucks, clearly you guys are fat as fuck. No Chick-fil-A for y'all. All the 3X sold out. Y'all, the 3X sold out like in 20 minutes.
This clip triggered many different reactions online, with fans mentioning how fat-phobic her statement was. This, however, is her response.
I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? It's never that serious. Like, don't cry about it. Listen, people make fun of my BBL all the time. If we're gonna be using these phobic words and everything, then I'm gonna do a BBL phobic work. Here's a cupcake. I'm not gonna apologize though, because I'm sensitive and want to cry about some dumb shit. Every day I want to cry about some dumb shit. It's not.
What do you think?
Serious, girl. Like,
it's not that serious.
Cardi B, I'm very surprised that I have to remind you of this, but just because someone else makes a joke doesn't mean you have to make it too. You know that, right? And also, maybe the reason why people feel so comfortable making fun of your BBL is because you do not command the respect that you so seek. Maybe if you stop using fat people at the expense of jokes, then people wouldn't do the same for your BBL. No, they shouldn't be making fun of your BBL. But also, no, you shouldn't be making fun of fat people. And neither should they. But if you are going to sit here and still say it's not that serious and offer a cupcake in the camera to anybody who is so upset by it, well, I'm going to offer you a few books that I recommend for you to understand why fat phobia is something so serious and something that should not be taken lightly and something that should not be joked about, especially by someone as powerful as you. You are powerful. You are talented. And I am happy that your 3XL merch sold out. I am happy that you now see that you have fat fans. But if you would like to keep those fat fans, please consider unlearning fat phobia and standing up for them instead of standing against them.
Yeah, so this is what has got people talking. Right? Now, a lot of people are saying that the influencer is being too sensitive. Cardi B is like that. That's her character. She's always making jokes about things and, that's who she's always been. So she shouldn't blow it out of proportion, so on and so forth. But others are like, absolutely not. For somebody like Cardi B, basically they're agreeing with the influencer saying that for somebody with a bigger platform, you should know better. You shouldn't be playing around like that. I mean, in 2025 with everything going on, you shouldn't be playing and putting things out there like that. And besides, people are entitled to their opinions because this has gotten onto the internet. It's no longer you on Twitter talking to your fans. It's made its way on the internet. So people have a right to feel any type of way about it, right? But Cardi B is insisting that she's not going to apologize. Now, this has created a divide. People are in support of Cardi B. Others are in support of the influencer. Now, this morning, I saw the influencer's mom crying on my FYP, talking about how much she loves her daughter and so on and so forth. I even saw the lady leaving a post on her thing. People are coming for her for standing up for herself. Obviously, if she feels a type of way about it, she's allowed to feel a type of way about it. Cardi B is saying that she's not going to apologize because she wasn't talking to her. This whole thing is just crazy. But anyway, let's get into what people have to say.
I think the frustrating thing about the Samara and Cardi B situation is that Cardi B blatantly admitted to being fat phobic when she was like, oh, they need to make up a term for people making fun of me for my BBL. So you acknowledge that the term for which you did was fat phobic. But like, people are so frustrated for Samara because she's like, oh, she's always complaining. And I think she's right. I think that a lot of you compromise on your self-respect, and she doesn't do that. She shouldn't have to do that. She is very firm on her boundaries. She is very firm on the type of respect she demands. And I respect that because a lot of you are fat phobic. The fact that people were trying to convince fat people that big back wasn't fat phobic, that stuffing their clothes to make their backs bigger wasn't fat phobic was insane to me, like pure gaslighting. I think a lot of the resistance towards what Samira does is that people just don't want to acknowledge just how fat phobic they are, just how ingrained that fat phobia is in them. They don't want to acknowledge that. They don't want to believe that they are actually fat phobic. And Samira holds up a mirror to people that they hate. And then Cardi B's fans are trying to act like, oh, well, it was just a comment she made to her fans in a live where her fans like a live is a secret, spot. Like it's a secured server or something. She was on Instagram Live. That's basically a public platform. No, it's not this super duper secret thing. And her being fat phobic in quote unquote private is not the flex y'all think it is. Like it's people really saying like all she does is complain, she just doesn't want to be satisfied. She doesn't want to be happy. She has shit to complain about. Like I watch a lot of Samara's content and she literally goes to stores that walk back their inclusion of plus size people. Why wouldn't she complain about that? Am I crazy? Why wouldn't she complain about that? Why wouldn't she complain about having such a different experience as a fat person than the rest of the world? Because it's not fair. It isn't fair. And like all y'all response is, oh, go to the gym, go to the gym, go to the gym. So let's say that Samira does go to the gym and lose the weight. There's still fat people out there. She's still going to be fat in the process of her going to the gym. Fat people still need to wear clothes. Fat people still need to be able to fit on seats and in airplanes and stuff like that. That doesn't change. So Cardi B saying harmful and frankly dated and unfunny jokes about her fat fans is kind of just silly. First of all, I didn't even think it was funny. Like, and I'm the type of person that I can acknowledge that I laughed initially, but you're wrong. But there wasn't that situation with this joke. It was just unnecessary, and it just kept going. It became uncomfortable, and it's like black people, black women shaming her for being relentless. Like, is that not how we do activism? Am I crazy for thinking that? I'm just seeing a lot of people that don't have to suffer from fat phobia speaking on this situation and how they're so annoyed and over it. And I'm just so curious as to how you're so over it when you don't have to experience on a daily basis. I would think that fat people should be the ones that are over it. Like they can't even support their favorite artist in peace. That's ridiculous.
So this whole Cardi B and Samira thing, I didn't expect it to spiral to the extent it did. First and foremost, I would say me being a plus size person, yes, I did take what Cardi B said as a joke. I even made a couple videos joking about it because I thought it was funny personally. And this is not to negate anyone's feelings. If you did take offense to it, you feel how you feel, which is fine. But it seems like to me, Cardi B, someone who's built their career off of being unfiltered, raw, just being themselves, and y'all praised it. So it's like now when it's something against you, something that may pertain to you, now it's not funny. It's almost like you going to a comedian show and they're making jokes about everything else that may not pertain to you and you're laughing. But then when they make a joke about something that hits home to you, then it's like, no, it's not funny. They're this, they're that. Like, come on now. I think also people don't consider tone a lot. And I think tone is just as important as what someone is saying. Like, I do feel like the tone in what Cardi was saying, it was a joke. Like, I really don't think she knows she has fat fans. You mean to tell me out throughout her whole career, she hasn't seen that one fat person at least one of her shows? Come on now. Also, if she was fat phobic, she wouldn't have even offered a 3X to begin with. And then that would have been a whole nother issue. It's almost like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Like, has she not even offered a 3X, y'all would have been saying, oh, she's fat phobic. She doesn't offer this size, this size. Like, and that brings me to Samira, which I like Samira. I do. I think she's a great advocate for the plus size community. And, I do like what she tries to hold these brands accountable for, extending their sizes for bigger people. I get all that. But baby, you cannot fight everybody. You can't. I think, it comes down to picking and choosing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think this was the situation that deserved as much energy as it got. Like, at the end of the day, not everyone's gonna like you. They're not. They would hate you for your size, your skin color, who you love. They could hate you for the way you walk, the way you talk. Like, not everybody's gonna hate you. I mean, like you. That's just like the reality of the situation. So I feel like, had it been that deep to her, if she didn't like what Cardi said, she could have simply blocked her. Don't buy her merch. Don't listen to her music. But, to take it to that extent, I feel like was a little bit much. But, that's just my opinion.
So why is it just a joke when it involves fat people? I'm just asking. Fat people are always the butt of every joke. And the Cardi commentary, I saw it and very unprovoked. Like, I understand she was talking to her fans, and I've been a long time Cardi fan since the Instagram skits, since before she was on Love and Hip Hop. So I kind of get her humor, but she's like, damn, y'all sold out of the 3X. I'm not offended. I knew it was a joke, but it's just kind of like, why is that funny to people? That just needs to be said. Be like, oh, the 3X sold very quick. Okay. But the y'all fat bitches, I didn't know I had fat ass fans. Now I can't make fun of fat people. Damn. It just further fuels fat phobia. And the people that are saying, oh, it's not that deep. Have you ever been fat before? You've been bullied all your life? Do people randomly bring up your weight in different conversations? Do people track how you eat your food? Even the ones who are fat, y'all be killing me with, I'm fat and I didn't feel offended and I knew it was a joke. You don't speak for other fat people. Just because you were offended as a fat joke, that don't mean the millions and other fat people don't feel no type of way. We had to grow up with very thick skin. Like, fat jokes don't really affect me anymore. I grew up in a traditional Nigerian household where the minute I go to Nigeria, oh my gosh, you look like you gained weight off the first greeting. So fat jokes don't affect me as much as it used to, but I know a lot of people are sensitive about their weight. So I get why people feel some type of way about it. Y'all be getting triggered about everything, but when somebody gets triggered about a fat joke, they should just, maybe you should lose weight, or it's not even that deep. And her doubling down on it and comparing it to people making fun of her BBL, Cardi's sister. How do they compare? How do I be mad at the people who speak out against it? Either because you don't like them, or you also contribute to fat phobia in a way, so that if it was something that affected you, you would be up in arms. Y'all be ready to cancel a person. But because it's a fat person, it's like, who cares? Y'all bitches just need to lose weight.
So initially I was gonna make a video about Samara, but then I just saw on my For You page a video of her mom like literally crying, basically saying like she loves Samara and that Samara's being bullied, and she's like really in tears, like she's upset to see her daughter upset. But my thing is, like, Samara literally came for Cardi B like unprovoked, and I don't understand how when someone doesn't elicit a response that you like, you then become a victim, or now you're being bullied. Like, that's so weird to me in 2025 with the new generation. Like, she could have left Cardi B alone. She decided to use her platform of millions of followers to call out Cardi B for something that she didn't think was right, and everybody didn't feel the same way she felt, and now she's being labeled as a victim. And I'm just truly not understanding, like, as to why that these things are happening. Like, she could have just minded her business and not made a whole think piece talking about educating you, read these books on fat phobia. Like, when you decide to put that cape on and be the savior for plus size women or large people in general, you then decide to take the punches. And so now she's taking the punches and she's deactivating her page and she needs a social media break. But you stood 10 toes down, and at some point I feel like it kind of gets, it's almost becoming rage bait. It's almost becoming rage bait. Like, you have centered your profile around calling out people who don't like or accept plus size people, and it's almost giving miserable or like self-hatred. I don't know. But I really do feel bad seeing her mom come on this app and like cry like that. But I also feel like that is feeding into the victim narrative, because like, your daughter made a video to Cardi B. Cardi B didn't say, hey Samara, you're a fat bitch, or Samara's a big B and everybody let's go bully Samara, let's dogpile Samara. So Cardi B made a comment that could have been inappropriate, however you want to look at it, however you want to deem it. And your daughter made a video in response to that, called her all type of ignorant, told her to educate herself. Told her to educate herself and everything else. And now she's the victim. Somebody help me understand it, because I really don't.
Here's my whole little 2 cents on the Cardi B and the Samara girl. I'm sorry if I'm saying the name wrong. I'm so sorry. I do understand both sides, because I do understand that Cardi B was joking about it, and she was supposedly laughing with her fans. And I do know what old girl coming from as well, because she's like, oh, like, you shouldn't body shame. It don't matter if it's playing or not, I do understand it, because when I was like skinny, people would talk about me like, oh, you don't eat, or when are you gonna eat? Why are you so skinny? Like, I do know how that feels. Cardi B herself also went through body shaming. So people are still talking about her body, still talking about her BBL, like saying that she's pregnant and stuff like that. People are still talking about her. So she knows exactly how it feels to be, body shamed. I know some of y'all be like, oh, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. People are sensitive. I understand that. But at the end of the day, we are not that size. Cardi B is not 3X. I'm not 3X. It was not really our place to be like, oh, well, they're too sensitive because we have never been in their shoes. And I know Cardi B was joking. We all knew Cardi B was joking. But what's funny to us might not be funny to the person that actually goes through that situation or is a 3X. And at the end of the day, she has every right to feel how she feels. Like, we cannot be like, oh, well, you too sensitive, you don't get to say. That's not how that works, okay? Cardi B got a right to feel what she feel, and old girl got a right to feel how she feel, and that's just that.
And the problem with Cardi B saying what she said, she's not part of the community. Now, if I would have went to her website, because I believe she's selling the shirt, I don't know, but had I went to her website and I saw my size was sold out, and I got here on this app, it said, you fat mother, I let the fat bitches who beat me to the website. Y'all see the difference? A lot of people like, oh, it was a joke, it was a joke. Yeah, it was a joke, but it wasn't for her to make, you know? You know, that's why when it's time to talk about domestic violence, I be like, oh, I'm so glad I've been through it so I could talk about it, because people be like, you can't say nothing you ain't never been through, you can't say nothing you ain't never been through. I feel like certain shit you can't say. Like, if people with disabilities want to poke fun at their disability, they can do that, but I'm not going to get on here and poke fun at their disability, you know? And no, I'm not saying being fat is a disability. For some people, yes, it is. Some people do get checked because they fat as hell. I wish that could be me. But, yeah, let the people in that group poke fun at themselves, poke fun at each other. Like, I don't know, it wasn't her joke to make. Did I get offended by it? No, but it wasn't her joke to make. So any fat girl who did get offended by it, you know, more power to them. I'm not, it was just a joke, she was just playing. Oh, no, it wasn't her joke to make. So if a person who might have felt hurt by the joke say, hey, I felt hurt by the joke, okay, you can't harass them into thinking it was a joke and laugh at it like you laughed at it. It wasn't funny to them. Oh, and also another reason why the 3X sold out so fast, in my opinion, I don't know, because I'm not working behind the scenes, because y'all produce less plus size clothes, so it looked like they go so fast, where it's like, you know, if it's like 50 plus sizes, you know, it's 100 mediums, 52 X's, 33 X's. So yeah, they just gonna look like they flying off the shelves because it wasn't a lot to pick from. But I don't know if that's their problem. I don't know.
I guess we can't have fun anymore at this point. I was unaware of the whole Cardi B versus Samira situation, where Cardi B made a funny joke about, oh, y'all some fat fucks because you like sold out all the 3X's first, blah 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 blah. I thought the joke was funny as someone who is fat, because I don't know, I make inappropriate jokes all the time myself, so it's like that shit, you're like, oh my god, y'all some fat fucks, like, no Chick-fil-A for you, no Taco Bell for you, bitch, no more Wendy's, double deckers. Like, that's funny. I'm sorry, that was funny. Ooh. I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I cannot see myself begging a company to make something in my size. Please make something that will fit for me. Like, and they're like, we don't want to dress your big fat ass. Like, you know, I couldn't do that. That's not my ministry, that's not my tea. So do I watch her content, the Samara girl? No, I don't. But I mean, good for her for what she's doing. But for me, it's like, do it yourself or get in where you fit in. Like, I don't know. Like, I know that sounds like Callison's like, well, they should be, I don't want to go anywhere where I'm not appreciated and welcome with open arms. You know what I mean? And of course I know the world's fatphobic, because tangent, I would never, ever, ever, ever give them the power to be like, y'all don't have a 2X. Guys, how about that? I'm gonna spend my money where my money is well spent. Hello?
Okay, so this will be the last time that I address this topic, because now I'm getting on this app, and this app is not even fun anymore. Like, it's like I'm getting on this app to watch ASMR, and I'm getting attacked from left to right. So this will be the last video that I make on this. The fact that I was making a joke between me and my fans was joking on Twitter how they sold out the 3X large shirts, and my fans was like, damn, us Barty getting big, damn, we can never make big jokes no more because we big, blah blah blah. So, you know, I made an open form joke with them because it's supposed to be funny. And, you know, this woman, she inserted herself in the joke. You know what I'm saying? She did 5 videos talking about the joke, and people just chimed in, and it became a big mess. So I did a video and I said, hey, this was not to hurt your feelings. This was a joke between me and my fans. I always make anybody the butt of the jokes. I make fun of everybody, like everybody. I don't care if you skinny. I don't care if you big. I don't care about nothing. Like, it's not that serious. And the video still wasn't good enough. Now you're recommending me, since the video wasn't good enough for you, you're recommending me to go read a fatphobic book. And it's like, baby girl, I'm not going to take 5 or 6 hours of my day to read a book about fat phobia when I could take 5 or 6 hours of my day to watch a documentary and see how the government successfully killed thousands of people just so they could migrate them out their space to gentrify the community they were born in, and educate myself on how can they do this again, because history repeats itself. I'd rather do that. Now, I am not going to give an apology. And you want to know why I'm not going to give an apology? Because I wasn't insulting you. And if I'm giving you an apology, it will be fake and forced. And you wouldn't want somebody to give you something that is forced and is not coming from the heart. I genuinely did my first video to tell you that I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. This was something between my fans that you inserted yourself in. That was genuine. If I say sorry, it's not going to be genuine. It's not going to be real, because I didn't intend to insult you or insult anybody. As I understand fat phobia, some people have body dysmorphia. There's a lot of people that have body dysmorphia. When I was a little girl, when I was young, I used to hate that I had a flat ass. And it used to depress me. It used to depress me that I had a flat ass. What are we going to do about it? And then on top of that, in the real world, when somebody insults you, you cannot make them give you an apology. And they're not going to. The real world, when you go outside, when you touch grass, TikTok and stuff, maybe you could force somebody to give you an apology and make you feel better and get on their knees and be like, I apologize. And to your mom, ma'am, I am a mother and I'm sorry that you feel that way about this situation. It shouldn't have gotten this far. Maybe that's why your daughter shouldn't have made 6 videos about it, to the point that people start picking on me and trying to hurt my feelings. But I'm not going to let nobody hurt my feelings. I don't care. I apologize to you because you're a mom, and I don't want to bring no tears to no mom ever. So I'm apologize to you. Maybe the situation could be solved a different way, but I'm not giving an apology, and I'm not reading a book about fat phobia, bro. If making fun of me make y'all feel better, if calling me all type of illiterate, all type of BBLs, all type of my butt, all type of this make y'all feel better, then go ahead, do that. I didn't mean to offend nobody. So if y'all feel like y'all gotta offend me to make yourself feel better, then do that. I didn't mean to hurt nobody's feelings neither. If y'all feel like hurting my feelings was gonna make y'all feel better, then do that. But one thing about it is, this not gonna keep being a topic. And that's just that.
Now, I want to know what you think about this whole situation. Do you think Cardi B should apologize because she's the one who is a celebrity? You know, she should apologize for saying what she said? Or do you think that she was addressing her fans and so she doesn't owe her apology, or any other plus size person who felt a type of way about this whole situation an apology? Also, do you feel like the influencer is being overly sensitive for her take on this whole situation? Or do you think she is justified in feeling the way that she feels about, you know, what she said on her live? Okay, let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comment section. I mean, apologize and keep it pushing. Okay, but I've seen a video of her saying that the reason why she doesn't want to apologize is because it's going to be fake, because it's like she doesn't feel like doing that. So she coming out and giving a fake apology is not something that she would do. She doesn't feel like she owes anybody an apology. She was addressing her fans, you know, who were also saying the same things. So she was saying that openly to her fans, not to anybody else. So if she felt a type of way about it, then that's on her. But she's apologized to the mom because the mom was crying, saying that her daughter is being bullied, and the lady has left a note on her thing. I'm going to insert it somewhere here about this whole situation and why she's taking a break and so on and so forth. So this is just gone all the way there, you know. And oh my God, I don't know. I want to know your thoughts. So let me know your thoughts. And yeah, I'll see you again in another video. Take care of yourselves and one another. Bye.